The Life and Sad Ending of Red Foley. Red Foley was born on June 17, 1910, on a 24-acre farm in Blue Lick, Kentucky. Grew up in nearby Berea and gained the nickname Red for his hair color. He was born into a musical family, and by the time he was 9 was giving impromptu concerts at his father's general store, playing French harp, piano, banjo, trombone, harmonica, and guitar. At 17, he won first prize in a statewide talent show. He graduated from Berea High School and later worked as a $2 a show usher and singer at a theater in Covington, Kentucky. Foley had an older brother, Clarence Cotton Foley, who in 1939, along with brother Red, John Lair, and Whitey Ford, co-founded the Renfro Valley Barn Dance in Rockcastle County, Kentucky. Foley's first wife was Axie Pauline Cox, who died giving birth to their daughter Betty. Betty married Bentley Cummins in 1948 and had 3 children: Clyde Foley Cummins, a country music performer, Charlotte Jean, and Patrick Bentley. On August 9, 1933, Foley married his second wife, Eva Elaine Overstake. Known during her solo career as Judy Martin, she was one of the 3 Little Maids on National Barn Dance and a sister of country music songwriter Jenny Lou Carson. Red and Eva had 3 daughters, Shirley Lee, Julie Ann, and Jenny Lou, who recorded with their parents on Decca as the Little Foleys. Shirley Lee Foley married actor-singer Pat Boone in 1953. Their daughters are Cherry Boone, Linda Lee, Laura Jean, and country and Christian music singer Debbie Boone. She died in 2019. On December 17, 1952, Foley announced in Nashville that he had secretly married his third wife, radio and TV entertainer Sally Sweet. On October 28 in Iuka, Mississippi earlier that year, he had settled out of court with Sweet's former husband, Nashville music publisher Frank B. Kelton, who had sued him in April for $100,000 for alienation of affection. Red Foley's career is interpreted throughout the ups and downs he has gone through. In 1930, as a freshman at Georgetown College, Foley was chosen by a talent scout from Chicago's WLSAM to sing with producer John Lair's Cumberland Ridge Runners, the house band on National Barn Dance. His first single, Life Is Good Enough for Me the Lone Cowboy, was released in June 1933 on the Melotone label. In 1937 he returned to Kentucky with Lair to help establish the Renfro Valley Barn Dance stage and radio show near Mount Vernon. 1939, performing everything from ballads to boogie-woogie to blues. In late 1939, Foley became the first country artist to host a network radio program, NBC's Avalon Time, and he performed extensively at theaters, clubs, and fairs. He then returned for another 7-year stint with National Barn Dance. In 1941, the same year, he made his first of only 2 film appearances portraying himself with Tex Ritter in the western, The Pioneers. Foley signed a lifetime contract with Decca Records. He also released Old Shep in 1941, a song he wrote with Arthur Willis in 1933 about a dog he owned as a boy. In reality, his German Shepherd, poisoned by a neighbor, was named Hoover. The song, later recorded by many artists including Hank Snow and Elvis Presley, became a country classic. His patriotic 1944 single, Smoke on the Water, topped the folk records chart for 13 consecutive weeks. And on January 17, 1945, Foley was the first country performer to record in Nashville, Tennessee. During the session at WSM-AM's Studio B, he recorded Tennessee Saturday Night, Blues in the Heart and Tennessee Border. He soon became known for such songs as The Death of Floyd Collins and The Sinking of the Titanic. He moved to Nashville in 1946 and was briefly a member of the Browns Ferry Four, recording Jesus Hold My Hand and I'll Meet You in the Morning. In April 1946, Foley signed on to MC and perform on The Prince Albert Show, the segment of the Grand Ole Opry carried on NBC Radio. During the next 8 years, he established himself as one of the most respected and versatile performers in country music. Red Foley acted as master of ceremonies, the straight man for Opry comedians Rod Brasfield and Minnie Pearl, and proved himself a vocalist who could handle all types of material. His popularity was credited with establishing the Opry as America's top country music radio show. In 1949, Foley was part of the Opry's first European tour, visiting U.S. military bases in England, West Germany, and the Azores, with Brasfield, Roy Acuff, Minnie Pearl, Little Jimmy Dickens, Hank Williams, and others. Foley began recording with his backing group, the Cumberland Valley Boys, in 1947. He recorded 7 top 5 hits with the group between 1947 and 1949, including a #1 single, New Jolie Blonde, and the country boogie anthem Tennessee Saturday Night, a chart topper in 1948. In 1950, he had 3 million sellers, Just a Closer Walk with Thee, Steal Away, and a solo version of the song that became his trademark, Chattanooga Shoe Shine Boy. Featuring guitarist Grady Martin, it stayed at #1 on Billboard's country chart for 13 weeks and hit the pop chart as well. In April 1951, Foley was pleased when the popular Andrews Sisters flew from Hollywood to Nashville to join him for a 2-day recording session, both acts hoping to repeat the previous successes that the sisters enjoyed when they teamed with Burl Ives in 1947 and Ernest Tubb in 1949, producing both folk and country hits. While the results proved to be less popular, the 10 tunes recorded were vocally well executed and received a good deal of play on the country radio stations. The songs included the rhythmic Satins and Lace, the rockabilly-flavored novelty Where Is Your Wandering Mother Tonight? From 1954 to 1955, Foley recorded a number of transcriptions for Radio Ozark Enterprises in Springfield with his band of Tommy Jackson on fiddle, Grady Martin on guitar, steel guitarist Bud Isaacs, guitarist Jimmy Self, Bob Moore on bass, and Billy Burke on accordion. On April 25, 1956, he appeared on ABC's Masquerade Party as Little Red Riding Hood and made a guest appearance the next day on CBS Strike It Rich. He appeared on ABC's The Pat Boone Chevy Showroom, a 1957-1960 program hosted by his son-in-law Pat Boone. On February 22, 1960, he appeared on Tonight starring Jack Parr. In the summer of 1961, Foley appeared twice on NBC TV's 5-Star Jubilee and made 58 appearances at 22 state fairs with Boob Brasfield. He moved to Los Angeles, and from 1962 to 1963 played Fess Parker's Uncle Cooter on Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, an ABC TV sitcom. In 1963, he returned to Nashville and performed and toured with the Grand Ole Opry. He appeared in the 1966 film musical, Sing a Song, For Heaven's Sake, and was a guest on The Joey Bishop Show on August 24, 1967. Foley was elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1967, the first Kentuckian and one of only 6 then-living inductees, which honored him as one of the most versatile and moving performers of all time and a giant influence during the formative years of contemporary country music and today a timeless legend. Red Foley died on September 19, 1968, aged 58. Foley suffered a respiratory failure that night and died in his sleep. Everything surprises the fans. That regret is like a knife to the fans. And here, Red Foley will live forever in the hearts of those who know his life.